Again.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is David Moats, and I'm going to be giving you a presentation on the challenges that military members face transitioning into the civilian life. So, first we're going to start off with why do individuals join the military, right? And so, they're able to join the military for a variety of reasons, right? It can be either to, just serve their country, provide for a family if they have one, gain a skill set, or even educational benefits, right? But not everyone signs that contract, but they don't really think about, hey, what's going to happen once they transition out of the military and back into civilian life. So the topics of this presentation we're going to be talking about is going to be, the first one we're going to be talking about is serving in the military, and then we're going to be talking about the challenges that veterans are going to face once they get out of the military, and then we're going to be talking about ways that we're able to help out these veterans. Alright, so the first one, serving in the military, right? So serving in the military, right, you're able to, basically once you get out to a duty station, you can be sent on a deployment, right? So what is a deployment? So according to the VA.gov, it states that military deployment is the movement of armed forces to somewhere outside the continental U.S. and its territories, right? So you can get sent to a bunch of different places outside. You can get sent all over the world, basically, and there can be different types of deployments on that. So you have a combat, aid, evacuation, and security. So combat, either getting sent to Iraq, Afghanistan, somewhere around there, sent on like a humanitarian aid, whether there's like a natural disaster and you need to provide like food, water, shelter for anyone that's like hurt. Or evacuation, say there's another natural disaster. You can go over there and then you're able to basically get them to a safer location. Or security, so it depends on if you're even, say, you're in another country, you can get sent out there for, say that country is trying to, overthrow their government or something along those lines, then you can send them in to provide security for either, U.S. embassies, diplomats, high government officials, right? Well, these deployments, they can last 90 days to 15 months. So sometimes they can last for over a year long, and that's going to put a big strain on families back home as well as the person that is deployed. So whether you have kids, wife, husband, family members, friends, anyone, that's going to put a stress on them back home, and as well as the person that's away from them. So the next one, challenges that military members can be faced with, right? So first one is going to be mental health, and a big one for mental health within the military is going to be PTSD. So PTSD.va.gov states that 7 out of every 100 veterans will have PTSD. So roughly 7% of the military members, once they get out, they're going to have some sort of PTSD, right? That's going to be a big problem just for them trying to find a job, maybe having to go through a relapse whenever they're getting out. It's going to be a big factor for them to deal with. And then another one is going to be physical disabilities, right? So maybe a guy is missing a leg, maybe a guy is missing his arm. That's going to put limitations on the type of jobs that he's able to find, maybe even the type of work that he's going to be able to do. And then another one, right? So combatveteranstocareers.org states the military provides a sense of purpose, well-defined roles, camaraderie, and honor, right? So the sense of purpose, these people, they sign up for the military, and they already know they're signing up for a greater cause. They're wanting to serve their country. Well, once they transition out, they might have lost that sense of purpose or trying to find something similar to relate to, and that's going to be a challenge. Another one is going to be well-defined roles. So when they sign up, they know exactly what job they're going to do. They know what they're meant for. They know exactly what it entails every day that they wake up, that they're fighting for their country. And then, so when they finally do get out, reestablishing themselves in like a community is going to be a challenge that they could face. Another one is camaraderie. So they sign up, they're at their duty station, and then they're with these people for 4 years, however long they are with them, right? They end up becoming some of their best friends. Well, they're not from your hometown. You may get out and then go back to your hometown. Well, those people aren't there anymore, so you're going to have to reintegrate yourself back into that lifestyle, and it's going to be hard sometimes to find that camaraderie. Then another one's honor. So they sign up, they have a sense of pride when they're signing up, they're fighting for their country, they are, have a great deal of respect for the country, they want to do this, right? But once they get out, they could potentially lose that, and that's going to cause another challenge. Then another one that we're going to be talking about is homeless. So nationalhomeless.org states approximately 40% of homeless men are veterans. So that's going to be a big deal because people are getting out, right? They might not have planned for it. They might not have budgeted their money correctly. They might have a family that need to provide for it, right? And they didn't budget correctly, so now they get out and then they're homeless, and that's going to be a big challenge, is finding a place for all these people to live. So now we're going to move on to ways that we can help, right? So the first one's going to be hosting hiring events. So hosting a hiring event, say you're with a job and you know that you guys are in need of like some help, some workers or anything, right? Hosting a hire event like near these veterans, or just making it accessible, then posting flyers, doing something to get the word out that you're hiring, so that these veterans are able to see that and maybe apply for that job, that if it kind of connects to them. Then another one is assisting veterans in community by driving around, driving into like an appointment or the grocery store. So as I said, these veterans that are getting out, that are transitioning out back into civilian life, right? They might be missing a leg, they might have some type of physical limitation, right? And for them, driving a car to the grocery store might not be in like their cards for to-dos, right? So if you're already heading to the grocery store and then you're like, you see one of them guys out there and you're like, hey, give them a ride to the grocery store, you're gonna help them really out like a lot. You're gonna help them get to the grocery store, get food for their family, even just for themselves to live, and that's gonna be a great big deal for them. Then another one's volunteering at local Veterans Affairs facilities, right? So with the Veterans Affairs, that's going to help them just basically get integrated in a community with all these veterans around. You get to know them, you get to hear their stories, you can even share experiences. You guys might find something in common, and that just gives them something to relate, and it's going to make it easier for them to transition back into civilian life, knowing that, hey, listen, I got someone that has shared similar experiences or I can connect with. Then another one, right? So another organization I found was the Feed Our Vets organization. Now the Feed Our Vets organization is, they actually will you can actually donate money to them, and then what they'll do is they'll buy food and then they'll send it out to veterans all across America. Well, that's something similar you can do back in your community, right? So you can even set up a food pantry. You can work with churches. You can set up just a food drive, something to get these people the essentials that they need to live. Even if like for their family, if they're having a hard time down in life, friends, they get out, they're maybe not making as much money as they used to, then simply setting up a food drive to help out these people are going to help them out tremendously. All right, so conclusion, right? So the first one we talked about military members are not always prepared to transition into civilian life, right? We talked about maybe they didn't budget correctly, maybe they had some type of physical limitations, they have a family, and then all of a sudden they get out and they don't have any money, they don't have a job, they're still searching. Then we talked about being deployed comes with stresses and potentially mental and physical challenges, right? So you can come back with, being deployed is going to put a stress on the family that's back home in the stateside, and then you're also going to come out with the stress of actually being deployed, maybe to a combat zone. And then it comes with it can come with mental health problems such as like PTSD, and then physical challenges, either losing a leg, losing an eye, losing an arm, something along those lines is going to hinder their ability to find a job or to even reintegrate themselves back into civilian life. And then providing help to veterans in our communities will help them succeed in civilian life, right? So by providing help in the communities, right, such as setting up a food drive, setting up a food pantry, something, even giving them a ride is going to help them out to get back on their feet and really start to succeed in life and get out of hey, this is a bad situation that I'm in. Once I got out, to finally get back on their feet and get reintegrated back into civilian life. All right, thank you everyone. And that was the end.